The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, welcome to the first webinar in Cloud Academy series on AWS certifications. This webinar is going to provide an overview of each certification. We're going to look at the target audience, outline the content, and throughout I'll sprinkle in some of my thoughts and tips that I've had for each exam. So about me, my name is Kevin Felichko. I have 20 years developing software. 2 years of that I've been working with AWS. In my career, I have witnessed the transition from an on-premise environment or data center environment to the cloud. It's been amazing to watch, and it's a good thing to be a part of. I have 4 out of 5 of the AWS certifications. And you can follow me on Twitter, kfelichko, if you're interested in talking more about the cloud, hearing my thoughts about that, or if you want to discuss soccer, because I'm a big soccer fan. Before we start, we have a few poll questions that we'd like to ask. I'll give you about 15 seconds for each one. It helps us identify our audience. The first question is, what is your role in your company? So let me bring that up. We'll give you about 15 seconds to answer that. Okay, great. Our second poll question, why do you want to learn more about AWS? So there you go, about another 15 seconds to answer that one. Okay, great. All right. So who is Cloud Academy? So always a good question. Cloud Academy was founded in 2013 in San Francisco. It was created by a group of cloud computing experts. All of us here at Cloud Academy are engineers and trainers. We're technically certified in AWS. We work with Azure and Google Cloud. We educate IT professionals in 130 countries around the world. So why AWS? Why cloud computing? Why should you get certified? According to a Forbes article, there are about 18 million jobs globally that deal with cloud computing. Now, out of those 18 million, developers are in high demand. Now, every job in cloud computing is in high demand. Developers tend to be the highest out of that group. And out of all the cloud computing jobs that deal with infrastructure, Amazon Web Services is the most requested. Now, AWS certifications are a great thing to have. I personally believe in them because they are they have great integrity. They're tough exams, and they don't have a lot of there's not any brain dumps that you can go out and find answers and just go in and get a paper certification. Some things about the exams that you should know about. It's common across all the exams. The passing score is not published. That's because AWS has the right to change what the methodology is behind the scenes. The number of questions, they're not published either. And once you get a certification, you have to recertify every 2 years. That's kind of a new requirement. It's if you took the certifications, if you have an associate level certification that you took a couple years ago, you'll find that there's no expiration date on your certificate. Newer ones have that. So you are required to recertify every 2 years. We're going to start with the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Level Certification. The AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate Level tests your guidance, or how you can offer guidance for so that you can offer guidance to anybody looking to be in the AWS cloud. It's looking at your ability to design solutions in the AWS cloud and whether or not you can apply best practices. So it's really looking for a it's looking for a well-rounded individual, looking to test your ability to recommend the right solutions, and looking at some of the best practices offered by Amazon in order to bring people into their environment. The target audience tends to be developers, system administrators. Now, I've seen a lot of IT managers and chief technology officers take this exam. The point of taking the exam for them could be to learn more about the cloud, because the preparation behind becoming certified really helps you to get to know the different offerings from AWS. The content areas that are covered by the AWS Solution Architect Associate Level exam, they're looking to see if you can design highly available, cost-efficient, fault-tolerant, and scalable solutions. They're looking for implementation and deployment skills. They're looking for your ability to protect data through data security and locking down environments. And they want to know if you can troubleshoot in AWS. Now, all of these content areas can be found documented in the architecture or the exam guide for the Architecture Associate exam. So if you look at it, it will actually tell you a breakdown of each of these areas and how much you will encounter them on the exam. The first one, the designing highly available, cost-efficient, fault-tolerant, scalable systems, that covers 60% of the actual exam. Now, that doesn't mean that's all you need to study. You need to study all four areas. But when you start your path to learning the technology, start looking at how to design these systems. In fact, AWS makes it very simple. If you go and you look at our Cloud Academy course on designing for failure, some of the things we do in there, we explain how to use auto-scaling, how to incorporate using CloudFront. So if you have CloudFront, you can, which is a content delivery network, you can use static and dynamic content that is available at different edge locations in the Amazon environment. And that'll help you in case your application fails on the back end. You can have a reduced set of functionality so that you're never fully experiencing an outage. And if you go and you take this course, you'll cover a lot of what's in that first content area. Now, I've spoken to many people about this exam, and the biggest thing that I can tell you is that this is one of the exams I would suggest that you start with. It covers so much. If you are looking to go to other exams and do the SysOps or do the developer exam, this is a really, really good start. In fact, my personal experience, I took the architect exam and went and got lunch and came back and took the developer exam. This is a great foundation. Now, to prepare for this, we have a lot of Cloud Academy resources. You can take our quizzes, you can take our labs and follow the courses. Do this, find your strengths, find your weaknesses, and then improve on both, but focus on those weaknesses. And like I said, start this one first. We do have a lot of questions. I want to mention we have a lot of questions that we will address those at the end of the presentation. And we're just going to keep working through this. We're going to jump over to the AWS Certified Developer Associate Level exam. The AWS Certified Developer Associate exam is looking to see if you understand AWS fundamentals and that you can integrate with services such as Simple Queue Service, Simple Workflow Service, and DynamoDB and some others. It's also looking to see if you can build cloud-aware applications. I'm a developer by nature. The functionality that AWS offers for developers, it's an amazing set of tools that we can use that are managed for us. We don't have to worry about setting them up. We don't have to worry about every aspect of ensuring that they're available as long as we select the right options and we take the right steps in developing our application. And so this certification is testing that. It's making sure that you know how to use those services efficiently.
Opa, ficou bom.
The so developers are the target audience for this exam. Now that doesn't mean that only developers can take this or should take this. There are non-developers who are interested in programming that benefit from this. You'll learn a lot about the API. You'll learn a lot about the SDK, using command line tools. It's a great exam to really understand the developer side and to understand how those things work, especially if you plan to get into DevOps. DevOps can benefit from this exam. The content areas that are being tested, we're looking for the AWS fundamentals, that is knowing auto-scaling, knowing EC2, how they work. It's looking to see if you can design and develop in AWS. It's looking to see if you can deploy and apply appropriate security measures. And can you debug your applications that are running in the cloud, in the AWS cloud? So some of the things you can do to begin learning this is really just start building applications. You can build, if you follow along on the Design for Failure course, we take an application, we build it, we make it run in a highly available environment. Now you could take that, you could mix in Elastic Beanstalk, which is one of Amazon's deployment tools that allow you to use command line instructions like you would with Git, where you can just push your deployment up to an EC2 instance and have it running. You can even then roll back failed deployment, or just roll back because you feel like it. The other thing is to incorporate other services. Use DynamoDB to maybe store some of your data, maybe store session data there if you want to have persistent data store between session logins. Use simple queue services. Simple queue services is a really fun tool. It might not sound like it, but you can throw something in there and pick it up later and have it replayed, and you can do a lot of great stuff. Simple workflow. Some of the things with simple workflow allow you to have things follow a certain order. And one of the things you can do in there is have a human task. And so learn to play around with that, because some of your questions would probably have to do with the human task side of simple workflow. Learn CloudFormation. CloudFormation, we'll get to CloudFormation in a second in one of my tips, but I love CloudFormation. It's a great declarative language for building your environment. Use simple notification services. It's another great way to send messages between services, building a loosely coupled application. You can also use it with Lambda. If you're familiar with what Lambda is, it was announced at reInvent. It's a great add-on that lets you send text messages. It lets you notify another application using topics. So there's a lot of things you can do with it, and you should write applications that can use all of these in order to learn how they function, learn the API, learn the command line tools that'll make you more successful when you take this exam. So my tip that I mentioned was to use CloudFormation from the start. CloudFormation is a declarative language written in JSON format that lets you build your entire environment, lets you build the VPC, the subnets. It lets you build EC2 instances. And so what you can do is you can take that and run that script. You can then tear down your environment. You can build it back up. You can take it from one region. You can move it to another region. You can you can store it as source code, version it, and no matter what you do, whether this is just for you to pass an exam or if it's for you to learn how to work with AWS, you can use this in a production environment. You can script your entire production environment and have a disaster recovery tool at your disposal just by, all of a sudden, say region, Amazon has its first big regional outage where the whole region is out. You can quickly fire something up in another region just by using this script. And so it's very powerful. It helps you learn. And I can't stress enough how important it is to incorporate as part of your daily AWS use and as you learn more and more about AWS. The next certification is the SysOps administration associate level. This is looking to see if you can automate solutions. So everything in AWS you can do from a console, you can do from command line tools, or most things you can do from the console, and some things you can only do from the command line tools, but you can pretty much automate anything in AWS. And so this is testing your ability to automate that. Provision new systems and environments, learning how, that's basically bringing up EC2, setting up a VPC, creating new subnets. It's looking to make sure you can do all of that. It's looking to see that you can monitor performance. Performance is a very important topic in AWS. You can use, they've built so many tools around it, like CloudWatch. You can use it to your advantage. You can write custom CloudWatch metrics. You can use the existing CloudWatch metrics, all of which combined you need to know for this exam because it's very important to the day-to-day operations, which is what a SysOps administrator is most likely focused on. Now, the last thing that it's going to check in this exam is to make sure that you can maintain stability and availability in the cloud. So yes, building highly available solutions, solutions that stay up during high traffic load. So this exam is testing that. It's focused on system administrators and developers with a DevOps focus. So those are the two people this is targeting. If you really are, if you're a VP, if you're a C-level executive, and you want to get hands-on, let's say you're in a small shop and you want to get hands-on, this is a great exam to study for as well. It's going to force you to do things from the command line. It's going to force you to basically learn the ins and outs of every service. There are 7 content areas that this is focused on: monitoring and metrics, high availability, analysis, deployment and provisioning, data management, security, and networking. Now, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this exam. Out of all the associate level exams that I've taken, this was the most difficult. All areas are covered equally, and you need to really, like I said, get into the command line, get into the things that you can't do in the console. It was very difficult. I have to admit, it took me more than one attempt on this. I thought I had the skills to go in and just do it, and I wasn't right. I didn't know certain things, and this really opened up my eyes. I got in, and now I love the command line. I love doing that, scripting things through, running a Node.js application and interacting with the SDK. So this is a tough exam, but it's very rewarding. And so there are many tools on Cloud Academy that can help you. And but you have to go through and go through each one and learn the ins and outs of every service and how you can automate them. The next one up in the certification hierarchy, we start hitting the professional level. And in the professional level, this is the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional. This is less of a technical focus. So now that you've passed the associate and you're here taking the professional level exam doesn't doesn't look at your ability to go in and set auto scaling. It's looking to see if you were given a set of requirements. Can you build a solution that meets those requirements? So the questions are going to be very detailed. This is targeting solution architects. It's targeting system administrators and developers. So if you have the architect associate, you can take the professional. Like here, as it says, you've got to pass the associate before you can take it. You can't even schedule it until you've taken this, until you've passed the associate level. There are 8 content areas that you are being graded in. It's the high availability and business continuity, costing, deployment management, network design, data storage, security, scalability and elasticity, cloud migration, and hybrid architecture. Now, I can tell you that for many people, there are some of these things that some services in AWS and some situations that you won't encounter on a day-to-day basis. For example, I don't encounter a hybrid architecture. I still had to go out and learn how to configure hybrid architecture. I still had to learn those ins and outs in order to be successful in this exam. So you've got to keep that in mind. It's very challenging. So like I said, it's more than just hands-on experience. You have to know how to interpret the questions and solutions. And in order to be successful, you're going to have to eliminate solutions that don't meet certain requirements. So we're working right now on a professional level course. And in that professional level course, we have some questions. And those questions are long questions, and they're tricky. So you might encounter a question that says that basically gives you a bunch of requirements, and then you'll have solutions where 3 of those solutions are viable solutions. And you can throw one of them out because it doesn't make sense. And in those remaining 3, you're going to have to interpret the solution, and does it meet every requirement? Does it do something that might cost more than, say, a different one, and the requirement was find the lowest cost? Completely passable exam. It is challenging in the sense that if you're like me, you read through it and you see these great solutions and you don't know which one to pick because any of them would work, but you really have to go and read, interpret the question, understand what's needed, and apply it to the right solution. And that's sort of what we're going to discuss in the professional level course. Next up is the DevOps Engineer Professional. It's the newest course, or newest exam, that is out there from AWS. It merges the developer and SysOps associate level path together. You only need to take and have passed the one of those, not both, in order to take the professional. This is looking to ensure that you can implement continuous delivery, that you can automate operational processes, create self-healing systems, and that you can monitor using the metrics and logging provided through CloudWatch and through some of the tools that AWS provides. So you have these areas. It really focuses a lot on continuous delivery and process automation. When I say that, it's looking for can you take a system that you've built, an application you built, can you deploy it across 5 servers out of 10? So basically doing a rolling deployment. And can you do that frequently? Can you roll back? Can you properly roll back? So that's what it's looking for. It's looking to, you're checking the monitoring, the metrics, and the logging to make sure that deployments were successful, and if not, roll them back. The exam is testing to see that you can make a secure environment and validate the outcome of deployments. And it's looking to see that you've built a highly available system that can scale up and scale back down. And doing all of this through using different tools, OpsWorks, Code Deploy. If you're familiar with different deployment models, can you do A/B testing? So here we go again. Understanding how to do rolling deployments, the A/B testing. I suggest that you get hands-on with OpsWorks, Code Deploy, Elastic Beanstalk. These are some really great tools that even if you've never touched them before, maybe you're not a developer, maybe you've always left deployment up to developers. This is basically a way that you can get hands-on. Just grab those tools, mess with them, take an open source app and deploy it to some servers and see how they work. Get familiar with the SDK and look at the command line interface. Those are some tools you can use for this exam. So now we're going to jump into our third poll. What sparked your interest in Cloud Academy? So let's take about 15 seconds. Let's answer those questions. So good. Great. So thank you for answering those. Now we're going to jump over to another question. How will Cloud Academy help you achieve your goals? Let's take a look. So about another 15 seconds to answer that. Great. And then one last question. How many people in your company may be interested in AWS certifications? Good. A lot of great answers. AWS certifications are great. I have a team that I've challenged to pass AWS certifications, and they've successfully done that, and they've used Cloud Academy. And they were successful because they took these courses, and it's a great tool to use. To conclude in this overview, study. There's a lot of I went into this exam the first time and I didn't study. I thought my hands-on experience was just enough, and for some people that may be the case. For me, I needed to understand what kind of questions were going to be asked, and they helped kind of guide me into the right study materials. And so I highly recommend studying. Definitely get your hands dirty with AWS. It's whether or not you're using AWS day to day. There's a free account. Go sign up, use it. It can help you really with in combination with the studying. It'll help you pass the exam. And then watch our courses, view our labs, and take our quizzes. We have some great courses and quizzes that you can take that will help you pass these exams, and we're constantly adding more to the mix that'll help you. And remember, you recertify every 2 years, so keep that knowledge up. Don't just let it kind of fade away. So we have a special coupon for our pro annual membership. Be successful. It expires on April 5th. The link is in the chat window. You can click on that, takes you right to the checkout, and you can start working toward your certifications. And what's next? So, our next webinar, we're going to dive into how to pass the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Level course. And that'll be the second in our series. And it'll have a lot of great content, a lot of great links and pointers on how to pass this exam and join the AWS architecture family. So don't forget to subscribe to our Cloud Academy blog and contact us in any way. So we're going